Welcome back, Sawdust fans. I'm Gary Nellis. This video is all about shop flooring and why I chose these 24-inch foam tiles to completely do the entire floor of my shop. So if you experience any kind of pain from walking around in your shop all day or just during a project for a short period of time, you're going to want to watch this whole video. I'll share some of the factors that I considered before I chose this floor. And since I've been using it for about 6 months through some of the winter and the spring, I'm going to actually tell you some of the pros and cons I came up with since I put it down. But before we get down to the nitty-gritty, you need to make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. It'll really help the channel get up off the ground. I've been building furniture for about 15 or more years. And about 7 years ago, I was finding I couldn't work in my shop maybe any more than 1 or 2 hours. Then I would just start to get pain and I would just be sore all over, like in my lower back, my hips, my knees, my feet. And that's when I was diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis. It's only been recently that I've decided to do something about it in my shop so that I could have more enjoyable time there and hopefully be a little more pain-free. If you've got rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis, or even if you haven't got any pain right now whatsoever, you're going to want to pay attention for the rest of the video because I guarantee someday, young grasshopper, you're going to know what I'm talking about. I decided to go with these 24-inch square foam tiles from Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. They're fairly soft and squishy, so they're quite comfortable to walk on. They're not very thick. They're coming in at pretty much right on 3/8 of an inch. But let me tell you a little bit about what factored into my decision to actually buy these tiles. All right, well, let's just get cost right on the table to begin with. These tiles run about $1.25 a square foot. And I had a decision to make. Do I want to just do a piece of my shop or do I want to do the whole thing?
I don't want a piece of you. I want the whole thing. Oh!
Well, I decided to do the whole thing because my shop's about 300 square feet. If I just put them around a few machines, I'm going to be walking on concrete all the time. And I wanted to minimize the amount of wear and tear on all of my sore places in my body. So for a little under $400 taxes in, I could do the whole shop. And I figured it would be money well spent in the long run just for the betterment of my health. The other things that were in my considerations were I wanted to potentially have the option to move the tiles or reuse them in another shop at a later date because right now my shop is in my basement. But ideally, I'd like to be in, say, a 2-car garage or maybe a freestanding building in my backyard someday. I want to be able to pick them up and move them. If I was using some other type of floor, I might not be able to do that. Now, I also wanted something that was very easy to install. And these foam tiles, super easy with a knife and a straight edge to be able to cut them to any size that you want. And the other bit of a plus is they have this little bit of a dovetailed side on them, and they come with these clean factory edges that just snap on and off. So super easy to install, very fast to go down. It didn't take me any more than the better part of an afternoon or a day, like a half a day to install them. So pretty simple and straightforward, guys. All right, so what have I noticed after I've used these for about 6 months? Well, first off, I can definitely work a lot longer. I can go about 8 hours, no problem. I don't usually work any longer than that, so don't ask me about any longer periods than that. The other thing I noticed is the big noise reduction in the shop. Things don't echo as much. I notice that when I'm playing music, it just sounds cleaner in here. Or if somebody's in the shop with me, helping me with something or working on it, then you can just hear them a little better. The sound is better. Another thing that I found was a big plus with it is they provide a little bit of insulation or R value between the concrete and my feet. So, in the past, I would go upstairs to the main level after I was done working for maybe a few hours, and I would find that my feet took a long time to warm up again. But with these tiles down, I don't find that they're cold at all or that I need any time for them to warm up when I'm done in the shop, even after a full day in the shop. The last thing that I noticed about the tiles would have to be they definitely save tool edges. I've been woodworking a long time, and honestly, I've never dropped a chisel or a plane or anything on the floor that required resharpening ever before. But, wouldn't luck have it that as soon as I put the floor down, I drop a chisel. It did not require resharpening. Big plus, saves you some time in the long run and some headaches too. I can only think of 2 cons for these foam tiles, but I've got solutions for both. And I'm not talking about Nicolas Cage or Sean Connery. The first con that I'm gonna tell you guys about is roll around carts are a problem. When you move them around your shop, the weight of them is gonna make the tiles bubble and move around, and it's gonna get annoying having to put those tiles back all the time. In my shop, I mainly use 2 roll around carts, one for my bandsaw, one for my thickness planer, and they always move in and out on a straight line to their home and where I use them. So I just cut a little strip right out of the foam tiles that just lifts out and puts right back in. That way none of the tiles around them get disrupted, and I never have to actually reset or actually reinstall any of the tiles ever. The second con is more of a predicted one. These tiles don't seem like they're going to stand up very long. They're pretty squishy. They're not that thick. So I predict that over time, where I'm standing all the time in front of, say, a table saw or a bench, they're going to compress and they're going to lose their therapeutic value, so to speak. So my solution to that is there's going to be areas of the shop that are very low traffic. I'm going to just take those tiles and move them to the high traffic areas, and vice versa with the ones that are worn out, and put those in the low traffic areas down the road. So there's my 2 cons and the solutions. I hope you like them. What's my conclusion on these foam tiles? Well, I like them. They've definitely solved the issue that I had, which was not being able to work very long in my shop. Would I recommend them to anybody? Almost. Certainly for a DIYer with a home shop, be it in the garage or their basement, great product. If you're a commercial shop of any kind, you're going to get frustrated when you start rolling carts around. It's going to take you too much time, which you don't have, to put the tiles back in place. So find another product, something more dense that can stand up to, or that is meant to have carts roll around on it. Now, my next video is going to be a shop tour, so you're going to want to make sure you hit that subscribe button, the notification bell. You're not going to want to miss it. And make sure you leave a comment down below. I'll read and respond to them, and it really will help this channel to keep going and get off the ground. So thank you for watching.